Kickoffs just around the corner in Knoxville, and these are my game-by-game predictions for the Tennessee Volunteers this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we are powered by our friends over at FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/SECU to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/SECU to get $250 in bonus bets today. Safe to say it was an interesting offseason on Rocky Top between the Nico Iamaleava drama, the pickup of Joey Aguilar from UCLA, some of the drama with Boo Carter. I think fans in Knoxville are just happy that the college football season is officially here. There's still a lot of excitement, still a lot of talent within this program, but what does it all mean? How do you follow up a 10-2 campaign that saw you go to the college football playoff a season ago? Guys, these are my game-by-game predictions for Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Vols in the 2025 season. And before we get going, our friends over at FanDuel have the over-under win total for Tennessee set at 8.5 wins, the over at plus 118, the under at minus 144. So what that means is this: the money is coming in on the under. Guys, you want to place your bets today? Go over to FanDuel.com/SECU. In the meantime, we're going to pull up the Vols schedule as I go game by game and give my predictions for the folks on Rocky Top as we start with a neutral site contest against the Syracuse Orange in Atlanta, Georgia at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Of course, as we all know, this is one of two games being played featuring an SEC team at Mercedes-Benz on the opening weekend. Breaking in Joey Aguilar in game one, I think that's going to be the big storyline here, right? What does the defense look like with some new faces, some new pieces? Guys, listen, I like Fran Brown. I do. But Tennessee ain't losing this football game. I just, like, listen, I'm a little bit uneasy about what it's going to look like offensively because, admittedly, I wasn't high on Joey Aguilar when they picked him up. I don't know that I'm really high on Joey Aguilar at this moment coming in the season. Doesn't mean that I don't think he can't be very good. He's an exciting player. He just scares me at times with the way that he plays, some of the turnovers, whatever. That being said, though, I actually think Tennessee will be able to run the football in this game. I think defensively, the defense is going to be a strength yet again, even with some of the losses. I'm excited to see what Boo Carter looks like. Number one, is he playing? Number two, is he playing both sides of the football? Either way, I think Tennessee's the superior team here. You see that in the betting line from our friends at FanDuel. I believe it's right at double digits in this game. I think Tennessee's like right at a 9.5 or 10-point favorite. I think they get the win here. I think they start 1-0 after a really interesting offseason. I think the culture of this football team, the buy-in of this football team, they'll be excited to put this offseason to bed, get this thing rolling. They'll do it in a big way. I think Rocky Top starts out 1-0 on the season. Then you got East Tennessee State in week 2. Ho-hum, no big deal. Just don't anybody get hurt. This is a tune-up before what you have in week 3. Maybe we see some other options at quarterback. Maybe Jake Merklinger comes in. Maybe the star freshman, he comes in and plays as well. This will also be an opportunity for a Joey Aguilar to build confidence, build that rapport with his receiving core, for guys to get really comfortable in the system. Defensively, guys step up. Obviously, again, it is a get-good game, feel-right game, name your score game, empty the bench game for the Vols, 2-0, no big deal. And then here comes them Georgia Bulldogs, week 3. The SEC opener, it gets real, really, really quick. Here's your measuring stick. You're going to find out what you are, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. And listen, guys, my first ever Neyland experience was last football season against Alabama. Neyland Loud is different. Neyland Loud is different. Maybe, just maybe, this week 3 game against Georgia is our visit in the 2025 SEC Unfiltered Tour. You never know. You have to stay tuned. But Neyland Loud is different. How does Gunnar Stockton handle that, right? How does a Georgia team that I think has a ton of talent, but not as much experience, not as many household names, how do they handle that? And I think that certainly plays in Tennessee's favor here. Here's the issue. You know how we're talking about Texas maybe having a Georgia problem? Or we've talked about Georgia having an Alabama problem. I think Josh Heupel has a Kirby Smart problem at this point. Has never scored more than 17 points against Kirby Smart and the Dogs. Here's my question. Can Tennessee beat Georgia only scoring 17 points. I don't think so. I don't believe it. Listen, I know Gunnar Stock. Who knows? Maybe he goes on the road, pisses down his leg. Georgia's offensive line, they still can't get a push. And all of a sudden, we've got the recipe for the upset. But Kirby Smart, for whatever reason, loves playing the balls. Playing in Neyland don't bother him in the slightest. I think Georgia comes in there. I think they get the win, guys. I still just think where Georgia's roster is and where your roster is, there's still a little bit of a gap. And again, I don't know what it is about Kirby. I mean, I know what it is. He's a mastermind, but Kirby Smart has got the jump on Josh Heupel. He knows how to counter his offensive scheme, offensive system. I think he does that yet again. I don't think you can win this game scoring 17 or less. I think that's probably what happens. I think Joey Aguilar, unfortunately, will struggle in this football game, and I think Georgia will get the win to hand you your first loss of the season. You fall to 2-1 overall, but then you bounce back with UAB. Non-conference game. This shouldn't be any issue in my mind. I know Trent Dilfer's over there doing his thing, but I think Tennessee, you bounce back the right way. You get a big win. Again, lick your wounds a little bit. You advance to 3-1 early in the season. Then you go to Starkville, Mississippi at the end of September. And I know, this is where I'm going to lose many of you. I get it. Hear me out and try to think outside of the box here. When it comes to college football predictions, we all watched the season last year, guys. We saw results like Alabama beating Georgia and then losing to Vandy the following week. We saw Tennessee beat Bama and lose to Arkansas in the same season. Expect the unexpected in this game, folks. Like expect the unexpected. Mississippi State is going to get somebody this season. It may not be Tennessee. It may be somebody else. But I'm picking it. I'm going out on a limb. Josh Heupel, unfortunately, every season has been good for an inexplicable road loss. That is where the struggles have come for them, on the road. Starkville, Davis Wade, very underrated environment. Cowbells will be ringing. I think Mississippi State trips you up early in the season. I do. I think there's still going to be some loose ends with that Tennessee offense. I think I actually think State's going to be much better on the offensive side. They'll be able to run the football with Devon Booth and Fluff Bothwell. I think Blake Shapen's a very underrated player at quarterback. Am I saying 110% this happens, guys? But it's talking season. It's prediction season, and sometimes you take a flyer because you never know. Again, if I'd have picked Vandy to beat Bama last year, you'd have said I was crazy and laughed me off the screen. Just saying. It could happen. Welcome to the new era of college football where upsets happen on a weekly basis. So I'm going with Mississippi State here to pull the upset. I know many of you are cursing me right now. You turn this off, whatever. Stick with me here for a moment because I got the Vols falling to 3-2 early in the season. We're at a bit of a crossroads here. What are we doing? Where are we going? The following week, you actually have a bye week, which couldn't come at a more perfect time. 3-2 after your first 5. You then welcome Arkansas at home. And this is a revenge game of all revenge games for what happened a season ago. I think you bounce back off that Mississippi State loss. I think you take down Arkansas. I don't think you let the Hogs beat you twice or beat you back-to-back years, I should say. We all know the history. For whatever reason, Arkansas has had great success against Tennessee. Not this year. Not this year. I think coming out of that first bye week, I think this is when Joey Aguilar and this offense start to click. I think the defense is going to be solid all year. I think Joey Aguilar and this defense, offense, I think they start to click. I think you're going to see Joey get more and more comfortable in the system. I think he has a good game in this one. And guys, also, I don't think Arkansas is going to be all that good this year. I got you bouncing back in a big way, getting a much-needed win at Neyland to improve to 4-2 on the season. The following week, guys, you go to Tuscaloosa. I got Alabama winning this game. I'm very high on Bama. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I think Ty Simpson's going to be a really, really good player at quarterback for them, and they're loaded across the board. I know what you did last year. I just don't see it happening back-to-back. I don't see you going into Bryant-Denny and winning this football game. This has become a must-watch game on the schedule again, though. I'll give you that. But because of what I think Bama's going to be, it has less to do with, I think Tennessee's going to be terrible. I think Bama's going to be that good. I really do. They are loaded across the board. I know what happened last year, but that was the Jalen Milroe game. Jalen Milroe ain't in Tuscaloosa no more. Different era with Ty Simpson. I think they'll be better at quarterback, therefore better offensively. Therefore, I think they beat Tennessee. And you fall all of a sudden to 4-3 after your first 7. Again, many of you are tuned out right now. You're like, I can't believe I have spent any time watching this. Again, hang in there with me because you sit at 4-3. The good news is the following week you have Kentucky. Kentucky's the worst team in the SEC. They ain't beating anybody in conference play for what my money's worth. I got you taking care of business. And also Kentucky doesn't beat Tennessee. Doesn't matter how good they are, bad they are, where the game's played. It don't matter what the situation is. Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky. So you improve to 5-3 on the season. Then you host the Oklahoma Sooners, a team that I am really high on. If you've seen my predictions, guys, I think Oklahoma's going to be right there fighting for the college football playoff. I do. That being said, I think John Mateer's a great player. That being said, what I say about Neyland? Neyland's different. People don't realize how tough it is to go into Knoxville and to win. I think Oklahoma's a better team than Tennessee this year. Doesn't matter in this game. Doesn't matter in this game. I've got Tennessee pulling the upset on Rocky Top over Oklahoma. I do expect, again, this football team to get better. I expect this football team to get better. I think Tennessee will have just enough defensively to contain John Mateer. He's going to get his, but contain John Mateer. I think what Tennessee has in the secondary will be able to limit that Oklahoma passing game. And I think it's a big night for Joey Aguilar. I actually do. I think it's a big night for Joey Aguilar, big night for the offense. I think Tennessee pulls the upset over Oklahoma. Unexpected. Neyland Loud strikes again. I think that place is buzzing. And again, you improve to 7-3. Or excuse me, you improve to 6-3. I should say 6-3. I'm getting ahead of myself. 6-3 on the season and get a big-time win. Also, guys, we got to factor in Josh Heupel against Oklahoma. I think this one is always going to hit different for him, going up against the alumni. He won't tell you. They won't say it publicly. I think there will be a different level of preparation for this game every single year. I think he gets his alma mater yet again, this time on the home field. The following week, you take on New Mexico State, actually following a bye, which I think, again, comes at a good time. Lick your wounds, get ready for a final 3-game stretch. You're going to beat New Mexico State. Ho-hum, no big deal. Something to feel good about. Name your score. You'll have no problems there. So now you get to 7-3. Second to last week of the season. Weird to see this game in this spot, but you go to the Swamp to take on the Florida Gators. Guys, I tell you what, I got burned badly 2 years ago. I picked Tennessee to win that game. I thought it'd be a blowout. We all know what happened with Joe Milton and company. There is just something about playing at the Swamp right now for the Vols that just doesn't bode well. And I think Florida is going to be really good this season. Hey, we'll see. What is Florida? What is Florida at this point? Right? What are they? Is Florida healthy? Is DJ Lagway healthy? I don't know. I have to predict this game under the assumption that Florida is going to have, at minimum, close to their best roster on the field. DJ Lagway is going to be out there. Maybe Dallas Wilson at receiver will be healthy, right? No major injuries. I don't think it'd be fair to predict it, one way or the other. If you factor in a bunch of injuries, that would make things really, really complicated. The bottom line is this, though. Whoever Florida's got, they have the advantage of the fact that Tennessee, for whatever reason, cannot win at the Swamp, guys. Tennessee cannot win at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. It's been since 2003. The guys on these rosters were not even born. Do we probably make a little bit too much of that? Because, again, these players weren't born when it happens. Like, they don't care. Maybe, but until they win, until they snap the streak, you have to bring it up. You just have to. So with that being said, I am leaning on history. I am going Florida. I like the Gators this year with DJ Lagway. I love their front seven. I think at the Swamp, they'll get after Joey Aguilar, force him into some mistakes, and I think you do drop this game in Gainesville, which again, is it really that big of or bold of a pick? This feels like a yearly thing every time you go there until proven otherwise. So I think you fall. I think you drop this game to Florida, drop to 7-4. Then finally, you host the Vanderbilt Commodores. And boy, Diego Pavia has been talking some junk this offseason. I mean, he's been talking some junk. Left and right. Just, we're going to run the state of Tennessee. Okay, word. I love it. I love the toxicity. I love the juiciness of the rivalry. Give me the hatred. That being said, Vandy's still got to go to Neyland Stadium. They still got to go in. Diego Pavia has to go into Neyland, which I can't wait to watch this game because, my goodness, the way he's going to get greeted there. Diego Pavia still got to go into Neyland and beat the Vols. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I love the energy from Diego. I love it. I love the energy from Diego. I think Eli Stowers is a fantastic tight end. Cedric Alexander is a quality running back. I think defensively, they're going to be much more salty than people realize. I just don't see Tennessee allowing Vandy to come into their house and get the dub. So I'm going Tennessee in this football game, which, guys, in totality, will put you, in my opinion, my picks at 8-4 overall, 4-4 in conference play. I don't even know if they had Nico, if the ceiling of this team's the college football playoff. But I'll tell you this, admittedly, Tennessee was a team I felt lower on during the summer. And then when I did my game-by-game predictions, I was like, wow, I've got them winning 8 games. Which, guys, I think an 8-4 season, after all that happened over the offseason, I think an 8-4 season would be a pretty good year. Like, Josh Heupel has essentially set the floor of the program at 8 wins. Humor me, but if you watch Tennessee football in the 2010s, you are taking that every single day of the week. This program was in the gutter before Josh Heupel got there. A floor of 8 wins for the program? Listen, Tennessee fans, I'm not trying to tell you how to act about your program. That's a pretty nice step, though. And I think after everything that happened, this kind of feels like a bridge year for Tennessee a little bit. If you're still going 8-4 in a bridge year, I say you take it. I think you take it. So, admittedly, I was a little bit higher than I expected. A lot of it has to do, if we're being honest, with this schedule. This is a schedule. I'll tell you this. This is a schedule that is conducive to Tennessee being the surprise team in the SEC and popping off and having a big year, maybe even pushing for the college football playoff. With this schedule, guys, you get some momentum rolling, you pull a big upset. I mean, you're not far off. Hey, you changed the Mississippi State game. You're 9-3. Can you avoid that signature road loss that Heupel has seemed to pick up every single season? And can you pull a big upset? If you can do those two things, Tennessee can make the college football playoff. But I got them 8-4, 4-4 in SEC play. Guys, would love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your predictions. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How do you see the Vols faring in the 2025 college football season? Guys, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Before we get out of here, I do want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel, because as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all of your football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race, whether you're thinking Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, whoever it might be. Also, crown your champion in August, whether it's Eagles, Lions, Chiefs, Packers, you name it, or parlay your division winner dark horses. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Guys, visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. And make sure when you do, sign up at FanDuel.com/SECU. That's FanDuel.com/SECU. FanDuel, play your game. Guys, once again, appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, where we get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. Till next time, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we will catch you all on the other side.